6th of March, 1984, Cortonwood Colliery, South Yorkshire. The National Coal Board announces sudden closure. No consultation, no warning. 135 years of mining ends without ceremony. The miners walk out. Britain's longest industrial war begins. Margaret Thatcher remembers 1974. The miners brought down Ted Heath's government. She will not make the same mistake. Coal stockpiles are built, police trained, strategy prepared. Ian McGregor arrives as Coal Board chairman. His mission? Destroy the union. Arthur Scargill, president of the National Union of Mine Workers, a revolutionary from Yorkshire coalfields. He declares the government's intention clear: destroy the coal industry. 20 pits will close, 20,000 jobs lost. The miners must fight. The strike spreads from Yorkshire to Kent, Durham to South Wales. 165,000 men down tools. 3/4 of Britain's miners. Entire communities united. Their battle cry echoes through pit villages. Coal, not dole. But not all miners strike. In Nottinghamshire, thousands refuse to walk out. Scargill called no national ballot. Working miners feel betrayed. They cross picket lines. The epithet follows them forever: scabs. Communities tear apart. Families divide. Women take the front line. Wives, mothers, daughters form Women Against Pit Closures. They organize soup kitchens, collect donations, picket alongside men. Anne Scargill leads from Sheffield. These women refuse to be mere support. They demand action. The government mobilizes. The National Reporting Centre coordinates police from across Britain. Thousands of officers deployed to pit villages. Roadblocks erected. Miners stopped. Their own country becomes hostile territory. This is warfare in all but name. 18th of June, 1984. Orgreave coking plant near Sheffield. British Steel needs coke supplies. Thousands of miners mass to stop lorries entering. 5,000 police wait. What follows will be called Britain's last battle. Police arrive in riot armour. Long shields, short shields, helmets and visors. The tactics are new, learned from Northern Ireland. Industrial disputes never saw such force. The miners face what looks like an army. Without warning, mounted police charge. The ground shakes beneath hooves. Miners scatter, batons swing, blood flows. Short shield units follow the horses. They beat unarmed men. The world watches. This is Thatcher's Britain. This is Orgreave. 51 pickets injured. 72 police hurt. Scargill himself arrested. Accusations fly from both sides. Police brutality, miner violence. The truth drowns in propaganda. One thing is certain: the gloves are off. 14th of March, Ollerton Colliery, Nottinghamshire. David Jones, 24 years old, Yorkshire flying picket. Violence erupts between striking miners and local working miners. A brick flies through darkness. David collapses. He dies in hospital, the first martyr. His father, Mark, identifies the body. A tiny bruise. Damage to the heart occurred an hour before death. Questions remain unanswered. Witnesses never called to testify. David Jones will not be forgotten. The strike claims its blood price. 15th of June. Joe Green, 55, picketing Yorkshire Power Station. A lorry drives through the line. Joe falls beneath the wheels. He dies instantly. 2 miners dead. The government will not negotiate. The courts become weapons. High Court judges rule against the NUM. Union funds sequestered. Every penny frozen. Not £1 reaches striking miners after November. The receiver takes everything. Sheffield headquarters at risk. Thatcher uses law as cudgel. Families survive on £12 weekly strike pay. Then nothing. Cupboards empty, bills unpaid, heating off. Winter approaches. Children go hungry. This is the weapon: starvation. Break the families. Break the strike. Trade unions across Britain respond. Food parcels arrive weekly. Vegetables, bread, essentials for survival. Communities organize soup kitchens. Nobody will starve while others have food. This is working-class solidarity. This is how they endure. Flying pickets become the strike's shock troops. Miners from Yorkshire travel to Nottinghamshire, Scotland, the Midlands. They arrive at dawn to stop working miners entering pits. Police respond with roadblocks. Cars stopped. Men turned back. A civil liberty vanishes overnight. Kent miners heading north are stopped at Dartford Tunnel. Police demand to know their destination. Wrong answer means turning back. Britain has no internal borders, yet miners cannot travel freely in their own country. The police state emerges. Solidarity crosses borders. French miners send money. German steelworkers donate. Soviet trade unions contribute. Irish dockers refuse to unload coal ships. The international working class rallies to Britain's miners. Thatcher calls them the enemy within. They call it brotherhood. Dock workers at ports across Britain refuse to handle imported coal. Scab coal from Poland and Australia sits in ships' holds. The Transport and General Workers' Union stands firm. Thatcher's coal stockpiles cannot be replenished. Solidarity holds. Musicians rally to the cause. Benefit concerts raise thousands. The Smiths, Billy Bragg, Paul Weller perform for striking families. Red Wedge mobilizes artists against Thatcher. Culture becomes weapon. Every ticket sold feeds a mining family for another week. Students across Britain collect for the miners. Universities adopt pit villages. Young people who never saw a coalfield understand what is at stake. Class solidarity transcends geography. The next generation learns that an injury to one is an injury to all. Churches across the coalfields open their doors. Vicars preach about justice and dignity. Collection plates fill for striking families. The Archbishop of Canterbury criticizes the government's handling. Faith communities see the moral dimension. This is not just industrial dispute. This is right versus wrong. Women and children march through London. Thousands descend on the capital. They demand to be heard. Parliament watches from behind closed windows. The press photographs exhausted mothers carrying sleeping children. This is what Thatcher's Britain looks like. Christmas 1984 approaches. 9 months on strike. No money for turkeys. No presents. Houses unheated. Children ask questions parents cannot answer. This will be the hardest Christmas mining families have ever known. The TUC organizes turkey runs. 7,000 turkeys delivered to South Wales. Trade unions send vegetable parcels weekly. Toys collected for children. One woman receiving her turkey declares, "We've been out 10 months. What's another 10? As winter deepens, men return to work. A trickle becomes a stream. Families cannot survive. Children need food. By February, over half have crossed picket lines. The strike is bleeding. Victory slips away. 3rd of March 1985. Numb delegates vote. 98 to 91. Return to work. No agreement reached. No pits saved. 700 sacked miners will not be reinstated. It is over. Only Yorkshire and Kent vote against ending the strike. They will march back with heads high. They surrendered nothing. They were defeated by starvation, by sequestration, by state violence, but never by choice. 5th of March, Grimethorpe Colliery. The village's world-famous brass band plays. Miners march back to work. Villagers line the streets. Many weep. The men put on brave faces. They know the truth. Britain's strongest union has been beaten. An era ends. In South Wales, not one man broke ranks. 12 months of total solidarity. They marched the half-mile from village to pit. Representatives from other unions joined them. No one speaks of defeat. They fought for their communities. They fought for their future. The accounting is grim. 11,000 arrested, 8,000 prosecuted, 2,400 miners injured, 3 dead on picket lines. More will die from stress and despair. Families destroyed, communities shattered. The Coal Board claims victory. Thatcher's real plan emerges. Secret documents reveal 95 pits marked for closure, 100,000 jobs. Ian McGregor's appointment was never about efficiency. It was about annihilation. The miners were right. They saw the truth. Nobody believed them. These stories of working-class resistance must not be forgotten. If you value documentaries preserving British history and the struggles of ordinary people, please subscribe to this channel. Press the bell icon for notifications. Like and share. Help ensure these voices echo through generations. Within 3 years, 75 pits close. The predictions come true. Within a decade, most British coal mines disappear. Entire towns lose their purpose. Unemployment devastates communities. The economic scars remain visible 40 years later. The miners saw it coming. For Margaret Thatcher, it is total victory. The miners brought down Heath. She has broken them. Trade union power crushed, the working class defeated. She declares there is no such thing as society, only individuals. The neoliberal revolution accelerates. Sacked miners never work again. Arrested men carry criminal records. Families break under strain. Suicide rates climb. Drug addiction spreads. Depression becomes endemic. The human cost cannot be calculated. These communities paid the price for standing against Thatcher. September 1984. TUC Congress in Brighton. The miners' delegation enters. Every delegate rises. Sustained applause echoes through the hall. For one moment, the entire British trade union movement stands united. The solidarity is real. But will other unions take action? The answer disappoints. The TUC promises support, but delivers little. Power station workers refuse to strike in sympathy. Steel workers cross picket lines. The triple alliance of miners, rail, and transport workers never materializes. Each union fears its own destruction. Solidarity has limits. The miners fight alone. By 2015, Britain has no deep coal mines. Kellingley, the last pit, closes. 1,300 years of British coal mining ends. The industry McGregor promised to save was systematically destroyed. The miners were right. It was always about annihilation. Calls for an Orgreave inquiry continue. Evidence of fabricated statements emerges. Police tactics questioned. Wrongful prosecutions revealed. The establishment refuses investigation. Too much would be exposed. The truth remains buried. Justice denied becomes justice delayed, becomes justice impossible. 40 years later, former mining communities remain Britain's poorest. Life expectancy lowest. Drug deaths highest. Educational attainment weakest. The wounds never healed. Investment never came. These areas voted for Brexit, voted for change, still waiting for someone to care. Memorials rise in pit villages. Plaques honor those who stood firm. Annual commemorations held. Oral histories recorded. The strike enters folklore. Children learned their grandparents' courage. The establishment wanted them forgotten. The communities refused to forget. Memory becomes resistance. New generations discover the story. Museums preserve the memorabilia. Documentaries tell the truth. Academic studies examine what happened. School children learn their grandparents' history. The battle was lost, but the fight for justice continues. History judges differently than newspapers. Time reveals truth. Women who led support groups finally receive recognition. Their organizing saved the strike from collapsing earlier. They kept families fed, maintained morale, picketed alongside men, challenged gender roles. Their contribution was invisible in 1984. History corrects that injustice. Arthur Scargill remains controversial. Critics say he should have held a ballot, call him reckless, divisive. Supporters see a man who stood firm, refused compromise, saw the truth. Both are correct. History contains multitudes. Heroes are never simple. The defeat weakened British trade unionism for decades. Membership collapsed. Laws restricted strikes. Workers lost power. Only recently has militancy returned. Health workers, rail workers, teachers, new generations fight back. The miners showed both courage and cost. 40 years on, surviving strikers gather. Grey now, some in wheelchairs. They embrace like brothers, share stories of picket lines, remember those who died, mourn communities lost, ask if it was worth it. The answer? We had no choice. The last stand. 165,000 miners. 1 year of defiance. Defeated but never broken. They fought for communities, for dignity, for future generations. History will remember. Coal not dole. Solidarity forever. The battle was lost. The spirit lives on.